My people, I want you to pay attention to this video. Every young person in our community, especially below the age of 40, watch this video because this is our story. And if we do not take action right now, tomorrow is not promised. Take a listen.
Issue to fight, I believe. So what's your issue to fight? My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be-all, end-all. No one says the be-all, end-all, but it's a part of it. But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities. So, so define do for self. When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black.
What you are going through in Cameroon, in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, is not different from what other black people are going through around the world. It's the older generation with their ideas that haven't worked against the younger generation. That is a young man going out in his community, mobilizing young people. They even went on to buy a property where they can rehabilitate and train young people, some coming out of prisons. This older generation wants to maintain the status quo, that an election or a political system alone will fix every problem. Keep listening. But this video will open your eyes so that you don't fall in the same trap that you have been misled into. Take a listen.
People need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all. So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that. Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have a very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them the skill trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it. I don't need the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not. So question. Teenagers when
he decided to go out, bring young black people into his home, some coming out of prison. And this older generation, you can see this man is fighting him. And people were confused under the comment section, especially from the white community. Why are you fighting this young man? That is what is going on in the Anglophone community right now. That is what is going on in Cameroon right now. That is what is going on in the United Kingdoms of Tikar. Young people, take your destiny into your hands. There are some amazing people in our community, in the older generation. So I'm not painting everybody with a broad stroke. But majority will lead you astray. If we had great people in our community, by now they would have said, hey, Roland, don't worry about finances. Let's structure a community. Let's build a country that will work for our people. Because when you don't take care of the younger generation, you are breeding angry young men that will make that community unsafe even for you tomorrow. But here is this young man trying to do something for his life. And this man is here fighting him.
Go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're going to go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's going to change in our community. So you went to, so you voted not.
As you deny to listen to me and keep going the way you're going, this is the story. I want you to watch this young man. Some people will end up this way. Some will grow old in abject poverty in our community. I will be sorry for you tomorrow, but brother, I will not help you even with 1 franc. I will understand, I can pray for you, but I won't help you. Now, watch this video.
Try. Watching this video made me have a second thought about life. All this struggle, all this risk, are just to make mama proud. Now imagine having a life I've been lost through this means. How many souls have gone? Look at that baby. Look at that small child. Look at that baby. Please, our people, don't risk yourself, don't risk your life just because of money. It's better you stay in your country. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Can you imagine? Oh, Africa.
That will be your story. It's not like we haven't had great people in our community that can help bring about transformation. We just choose to listen to the wrong people. God has never ever forsaken us. If I did not interact with other communities, I would have thought, oh no, maybe something is off in our own community. No. The other people, they listen to the right people. Support young people in their communities. Support great ideas in their communities, not their tribe. They support great ideas. That is why their own communities work. There are white communities in this country that supported me immensely when I was starting ministry, in a way that helped me understand that this is how a community is built. Supported me without expecting anything in return. If you do not listen, this will be your story. In our community, even if an elder wants to help you, it is investment. They are not saying, oh, this young person can go on to bless other young people. No, it's an investment. Or they want to control you. Some have come around here, want to give me money, but want to tell me what to do. And it's the same ideas that haven't worked. You see that young man fighting? It's the same story here in America. The same story. Now, what they won't tell you is that when my relative was kidnapped, I came in not with bitterness, but with a heart of service. Because as a man who was raised by a father who believed in me, let me express myself in the best way possible and did not clip my wings. I told you, my father was born in 1928. If he was alive today, he would be 97 years. Older than Pobia. I was his handbag. And so he took me around close circles. I sat around elders when I was still 5, 7, 12. During holidays, he would allow me to go live with another man so that I can see, learn tradition, learn how the community works. That is the man who raised me. So I didn't grow up seeing the young people in my community just as my mates, because I interacted with a lot of old people. So I saw even my age mates as my own junior brothers or children. That is really how I perceived them. I had more friends who were older than me growing up because of how I was raised. So what I'm sharing with you here, if you do not listen, the future is not promised. They will not tell you that even after my relative was kidnapped, I did not come here and join a gang to destroy the young men in the bush bearing arms. I had empathy on them. I was against the leadership because I saw the flaws. Stories are not clear. Just go watch even Professor Carson Anyangwe, how he explains our crisis before the international community, and ask if you can follow that kind of a story and make sense of your life. That is why I play the video of Foncha time again and again, because that man was the contact point for our transformation.
I reminded him, but unfortunately on 1st of October, I used the draft to declare federation and unification.
They won't tell you that I came in, created an organization called the Cameroon Sustainable Development Project, that more than 1,000 people have come through that organization. They won't tell you that. They will tell you this man was La Republique. Today, they are La Republique, and now they label their enemies CPDM. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you that I created an online newspaper here, employed young people in our community. They were on salary at this organization. Created an online university, Nation Builders University, to harness skills in young men in that country, both Anglophones and Francophones alike. Some went on to start businesses in real estate. We brought experts from America here to train our young people on the ground. They won't tell you that. They will tell you this man is probably a public agent. They won't tell you that I went on to write a book, The Cameroon Dream, to inspire young people to do better. Some people think you need millions to bring about change. No, you need to have the heart for the people. You need to love the people. When I was a teenager, I did that. Hundreds of young people came around me every Sunday to learn how to speak, communicate eloquently. That is why you see when I looked at that story, the story presented by Gojin Dinka, Professor Carson Anyangwe, I said this story is not clear. Why? Because I'm a storyteller myself. Since when I was a teenager. The world buys stories. Apple computer is marketed around the world and sold millions of copies because of a clear story that people bought in this country and globally. You buy maybe just the technical aspect of that computer, but what got that computer to sell in this country was the story Steve Jobs told about Apple, that they believe in challenging the status quo. And you can challenge the status quo using products like what I have made. So this is not my first project embarking on. Creativity is a gift that God gave me. They won't tell you that. And this is the problem, young people. We have an issue where we walk into an organization. We listen to the leader, because this is what I figured out in this organization. Those who listen, paid attention, went on to do great things with their lives. from this CSDP. They don't know that. Some came back here, gave testimonies of how their lives were transformed just hanging around me here during that project. Including amber fighters, generals that called me, listened to me. I appreciated everything that I said to them, even though I didn't agree that you use your weapons to bring about solutions this way. Do you understand me? Only the amber leaders abroad that are stuck on their ways were angry. Some still come around today and want me, after explaining this story, our history, so that we can be authentic Africans, build a nation that reflects us. They still want me to drop this and come join them. When the teachers and lawyers were marching, you never joined the teachers and the lawyers to make what they were doing better. You created Ambazonia, an idea from Gojin Tinka that he came up with in 1985. Never had the strength and the time to execute on that idea. You picked it up in 2016 when the teachers and the lawyers were marching. They gave way for you. You could label people now blackleg and take their life. Thousands of people have died and the story is not clear. And you are angry with the international community for not supporting you when you don't have a clear story and you're not united. I pointed these things out. Now that I have brought clarity, even diving deep into our ancestry, understanding who we are as the indigenes of Tikar, you still say I should drop this and follow you so we can uphold the vision of your colonial master Britain that has rejected you. I've brought clarity that this is a story of people dating that brought children from previous relationships together, and without a marriage certificate, we can't call that marriage. We can't call that federation. I've brought clarity and made things simple. Some say, no, we just got our independence, La Republic marched into our land. What kind of a story is that when everybody knows the story of these people? Foncha is on video explaining his relationship with Amadou Ahidjo.
So the very August, I had to go back to him and remind him about the resumed constitution. When he did not answer me in September, I reminded him. But unfortunately, on 1st of October, I used the draft to declare federation and unification.
How can you say La Republic just marched into your land and we have intellectuals in the community that went around propagating stories like that? Intellectual dishonesty. And thousands of young people have died. Let's tell the story. Let it be clear. We have been free since 1961. Why? Because there is no union treaty. A plebiscite is not an indication of joining. And this is who we are. And as it stands, no one in the Anglophone zone has the power legally to ratify a union with La République du Cameroon based on the plebiscite in 1961. This is international law. There was a statute of limitation, and that window is over. Ahidjo did not understand. That is what I told you. We have to guide this, our Francophone counterparts. For Amadou Ahidjo to use a draft constitution, and those who went around saying, France is controlling everything in Cameroon. If France was controlling everything in Cameroon, they would have guided Amadou Ahidjo that ratify a union so that at least we will use that union to move this relationship to the next level. France, Britain, America, they just capitalize on incompetent leaders that we allow to lead us. That's all. Stop blaming France, stop blaming America, stop blaming Britain. And when I see our behavior in the community, you don't show me love, you don't show me respect, you despise the young, and then you want to turn around and tell me Britain is a problem. Let me tell you something. If you believe that age is what qualifies you to lead in our community, you will never ever see change in your lifetime. If age is what qualifies you to lead, we have even 9-year-olds becoming thorns based on our traditions, and we respect them. I speak with this tone of revolution because in the battleground, the army general screams loud so that the armies can take action. And that is how I see us right now. If you think age is what matters, then Paul Biya is the oldest. He knows better. Psychologically, whether you like it or not, spiritually, if you believe instinctively that age or some degree is what qualifies you, then those who are older will always lead, and so Paul Biya will remain in power. By default, you reinforce that system. And life is not just physical, it's not just logical, it's both spiritual and psychological. So they won't tell you all those things. They won't tell you that this young man has always wanted young people in his community to be better since when he was 16. They won't tell you that story about me. That I sacrificed even my own school fees at Polytechnic to buy equipments to make sure that our young people thrive through creativity. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you all the sacrifices. They won't tell you. They won't tell you that almost every other day, 3 to 4 times a week, for almost 2 years, in the United States of America, married with 3 children, a young father, yet I made time, have a business that I'm running, that I made time to be with the young people in every corner of Cameroon online. They came and they were learning. They're pouring into them, believing in them, inspiring them. They share their dreams. I don't put them down. I tell them you can do it. Believe in your dreams. Believe in what you have in your heart. They won't tell you that. They will tell you this man is probably a CPDM man that has been paid by a lot of public to come around. Again, when the teachers and the lawyers were on the street marching, you did not come in and try to support them in their mission. You went and picked up another mission that is not yours, because I've not seen any elite in our community that came up with the idea in Basonia, except Gojin Dinka. And so you picked up that mission. And this is what happens. When the visionary is not strong enough to execute on that vision, it is hard for anybody else to pick it up and continue. When they kicked up Steve Jobs out of Apple, the individuals that continued the entire organization struggled. They struggled with Apple. They had to go back and look for Steve Jobs. The individual with the vision, they brought him back into Apple for the company to work again. The company was crumbling because they thought they could kick him out, and then they pick up. A vision comes with a spirit. And since you've never had that in our community, we don't know this. Every vision comes with a spirit, just like what I'm sharing here. You think I should just take this, come fit in some of your Ambazonian faction. No, every vision comes with an energy guided. And you can't take that and feed it into something else. They kicked out Steve Jobs from his own company. And the company did not work. They went and brought him back. Begged him to come back in his own company. And he came back. Within a very short while, everything started picking up. America learned a lesson. Don't play with the visionaries. Some have tried in many other things that I did. They came and said, oh, they could do it. I allowed it. I am good. I allowed it. I said, try. They did nothing. Nothing. I said, take it. So something is just the idea. It's not just the idea. The visionary has a vision, and there is a spirit guiding that vision. You will never ever execute it like that visionary. And that is why you protect your visionaries. That is why you show love to your visionaries. That is why you provide even financial help, moral help to your visionaries, so that they bless the entire community. And we have a great future for everybody. This is the time for elders in our community. Support, even financially. If you really care about your people and want to do something significant in your lifetime that the next generation will be proud of, support. They won't tell you. They won't tell you. They will say it's La Republic. Because if it were them, they would do the same. That is why they feel that way. Because if it was them, they will be corrupt. They will sell the vision. They will take bribe. They will not be true to the cause. They will never have a genuine heart to serve. That is why they think everybody is like them. They see themselves in everybody. And they've created this energy. When I see the young people, where do you think they come from? They come from the older generation. So when I see the behavior of the young people, I can tell. Why? Because these parents raised them. And we see it and we make adjustments. We don't get angry and like, oh, who are you talking to? I'm old. No, we change. And if you think age is what matters, even Jesus Christ will not work for you. You call that name, you will not have help. That's why we have been shouting in the name of Jesus, but our thinking holds us bound. If you think age is what matters, Jesus Christ was 33. So anyone that is young that came up with an idea in this world will not work for you. God did not make a mistake. There's a reason why he brought that young man to bring about change in the world. Because he knew that someday we will wake up in a community like this and people will put their age on the table. And he will say, never forget that salvation came through someone that was 33. That is why he has used mostly young people, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, all of them were under 40 that have changed this world that we live in today. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that even Amadou Ahidjo was 35, 37, came and negotiated the Anglophone deal. We drop our ego down. What I see right now, many will never see. And we will continue this way. Ruin the lives of young people. Ruin even our own lives. Become old, like this old man. And be crying around, help me, help me. No. When I see old people like this today, and then I reflect on my upbringing, there were some amazing old people. Some that really stood by me. But very few in the community. A senior citizen in the community saw me at a very young age, gave me one big classroom in his school to host my meetings every Sunday. Every Sunday, as the young people were coming, to inspire them to do better, how to speak, be courageous. And most of them have gone on to do great things with their lives. I don't go around saying, oh, I'm the one who did this for them. I'm not that low. I don't tell them, oh, you owe me today because of what I did. No, every Sunday, studying, pouring into young people. I believe in you so much. Again, based on my upbringing, when I see most of my age mates, I see some of you like my own children. Not in an offensive way, but that is how I was raised. If my father was alive, his first child is 71. My father's first child. So, I was raised by a man old enough to be my grandfather. And that is why if you come around, I don't see any constructive way that you're living your life. It's hard for you and I to be friends. I'm sure most of the young people that have come around me, you know that, including the old. If I bounce an idea, I don't see anything coming back, no clear feedback, the relationship is going to be a struggle. I love thinkers or people that obey and follow a great idea and we go on to get results. It's hard. My pace is too tough. And if you come close, you have to be willing to bend so that we change something. And that is what has built this America. This community has proven to me that I'm not crazy. Especially the white community. They have proven to me, from pastors to businessmen, they've proven to me that I'm not crazy. So let's change. There's something that they have done that has made their own communities to work, that we can learn while adapting it with who we are as Africans, as Tikar people. We don't become Europeans. We are Tikar. We are not former British Southern Cameroons. We are Tikar. And if you uphold the image of former British Southern Cameroons, you're enforcing colonialism. You reject your own gods. I showed up here, presented your own gods. Take them, our ancestors. The second, take this research work, presented it before you. By now, this entire community would have been on fire on this story. But we still have some 1 foot in, 1 foot out, some here to debate with me. But I want to appreciate all those in the Tikar land that at least caught this fast and are spreading this message. You are the ones. You are the ones. Both the young and the old. I appreciate you. The messages you send every day, the letters you write. I want to let you know that is how we get to build. But I wish everybody here was united. Without that unity, the children of Israel would have remained in Egypt. So tomorrow, don't blame Paul Biya. Blame yourself and your community. And I'll leave you with this. My people, 80% of this problem is within us. Just 20% is with La Republic. Let me repeat. They've told you, oh, La Republic is your problem. No. 20% of the problem we are dealing with is La Republic. 80% is us. 80%. Getting people to unite and work as one. Nothing will stop those people. And if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. People who still go around holding CPDM flags, those are enemies within.
These are supporters of the Cameroon's People Democratic Movement (CPDM) party in Gokutunda Division on Tuesday, October 28, 2025, a day after the proclamation of the 2025 presidential elections by the Constitutional Council, celebrating the victory of their candidate Paul Biya after a brilliant performance in the division during the October 12 presidential elections, which was hitch-free in Gokutunda Division. From the Total petrol station in Dub, while chanting victory songs, the supporters marched to the senior divisional officer's office.
It was indeed a pleasant surprise because spontaneously they organized themselves right from the squares of the town and marched right of the office to hand the motion to me for it to be transmitted to the right quarters. That is a re-elected head of state who doubles as chairman of the CPDM.
The results of the elections was quite revealing. I think that party scored well over 94% for those who voted.
While at the SDO's office, the leaders of the party handed over a message of congratulations to President Paul Biya through the SDO.
I encourage them for their orderly and peaceful march to my office. And I collect
those who are still thinking about Ambazonia, those are enemies within. Those with all sorts of ideas in the community, those are the enemies within. All of those ideas were around when God called the children of Israel out of Egypt. they had to leave all those ideas and follow the idea that Moses presented before the people. They had all sorts of ideas: federalism, multipartism. They had to change. So if age is what matters, you always be ruled by Paul Biya and take that pill with grace. It's your thinking that traps you. You'll never be blessed, because God will never ever bless you through the means that you have in your mind. It will come wrapped in different forms. And if you don't see it, blame yourself. I am more focused about the medication. I'm not focused about who brings it, what tribe they come from, what group they come from. That is how we live now. All sorts of Amazonian groups. We are more tribalistic from a political lens right now than never before. Oh, this is my own president and these are his own people. You ask, what is the story? Same thing. To tell you, oh no, mine is different. Why? As long as Gojin Dinka is old and did not execute on that vision, forget about it. God doesn't give a vision to someone and have them get old without executing that vision, at least to a certain extent, and then mentoring a successor to continue that vision. Without that, it dies. Study well. You pick books, read them, study, you will see what happens. Basic concepts. So, I think I've said enough. If you want to follow, follow. Again, I've said, we have to secure our eastern border. We are moving to a first world nation. That is the vision. The goal is that we become a first world nation in the next 20 years, once we lay this foundation. Secure our eastern border as our people are coming over. Expand our military base. Unite. As it stands, we have been free since 1961. Just like Juneteenth with the slaves in Texas that never heard the news and kept working for their slave master. Even after slavery and slave trade was abolished, 2.5 years before they got the news. Walk as one. Believe in our own ancestors and their story, not the British Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia story. Because every time you go out there before international community, you must tell the story. And the story will be a story of how they came and colonized you. How do you feel sharing that kind of a story? Now, if I go before that international community, because we never grew up in a community where our stories are shared, now I had to do all of this research all by myself. Just like the research work I did with this book all by myself to help the community move forward. Instead of people being happy, they are threatened. Instead of cooperating, they are telling you, come and join me. Instead of you being part of what we are building, some come and tell me to leave this and come and join them. Brother. You go before that white man, you have to tell him how they came and colonized you. No, I tell them a story of how our ancestors migrated to the Bamenda Highlands to set up a civilization. We had skills in ironwork. We are coming down from a descendant of people that built pyramids in Egypt. That story is more inspiring. Your story, we were there. In the Bamenda Highlands, our civilization was thriving. We were engaging in trade. Slavery and slave trade came and interrupted everything from the coastal elites. From their colonialism. Today we are rising up to realize we have been stitched in a nation where we are not compatible. And besides that, we never signed any union treaty to get into this relationship. which tells us we have been free since 1961. And we are here to restore our sovereignty as the Tikar people, whose civilization was disrupted in 1472. That is a clear story. So we want to build a nation that will go on to bless our people, bless other nations, neighboring nations, and help solve global problems. We have even come up with a new political system, moral technocracy, an element that is missing in this modern democratic system or this modern republican system. There is a lot, but this is how we will go on to solve global challenges, contribute to make the world a better place. We are introducing a new form of leadership that the world will borrow. That story is clean, simple. Every young person can run around with it. Since there was no union treaty and the statute of limitation is over, we have been free, and so we are restoring that sovereignty by setting up an administration, defining our boundaries, so that we can go on to build a society that works for our people and future generations. Let any evil spirit in you that hears this story and makes you feel bad, that is of the devil. And again, I'll leave you with this. If you feel bad about this, God will make everything in your life unbearable, because the gods of the Tikar is awake. This kind of evil spirit in our community of hate, jealousy, anger, bitterness will have no place in this community moving forward. As you feel this way, as you rejoice, let your household be blessed. Let your family be blessed, your business be blessed, your children be blessed. Now we have created micro opinionated young people everywhere in the community. Chaos. There is no central authority in the community. This is what we have now. Only opinionated people everywhere, and their ideas don't work. 9 years, thousands of people. What is our story? People ramble. Go this direction. You want to tell me, they say, oh, I'm 60, I'm 70. No. I grew up seeing people within your age group, 60, 70. I had friends within that age group my entire life because of the man that raised me. And young people have had nothing but love for you. Some of you sometimes misunderstand me, or sometimes you feel like I'm hard on us. It's because I believe in us. If we don't harness skills here, forget about it. You will end up in Sahara Desert, go get asylum. That story ends. It's not that story is not interesting. This story that we have been living, traveling abroad, making money, the story is not interesting at all anymore. If you don't know that, take a look at it. And the white man will never respect you because you came around here and bought a car, bought a house, or bought some house back home. No white man will respect you. Be very clear with that. This thing is archaic. You can only come around the community and try to prove a point, but it means nothing if our people live this way. And they'll always see you as inferior, as insignificant when you come around, no matter what you do, until we step up, pick up a good idea and do something amazing. This story, travel bullshit, it's archaic. Back in the days, it used to be something. Now it's nothing. You've seen how the people back home treat you now. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So let's unite and build something, no matter the tribe you come from. These are almost 80 tribes in the Northwest. We build a thriving nation here. Help even this La Republic people to have some structure and a system that works for them. Bless Nigeria and other African countries. And I believe we can do this if we unite. Just 100 entrepreneurs in the community we can unite and bring about a spark that changes our story forever. 100 entrepreneurs in our community that knows a good idea when they see one. And this transformation will start. And we bring order, and all these opinions will be brought to order.